Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new chapter of Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another chapter, thank you so much for giving me a listen. And if you love the show, drop me a review over in your favorite podcast app, or become a patron over at patreon.com/oldmanbrad. So this week we're going back about 25 years. We're going to talk about Kevin Bacon's Stir of Echoes. I received a 4K steelbook of the film from Lionsgate, and after watching it, I was like, you know what? I need to revisit it. I need to do a little review of the film, what I think of this 4K release. So we're going to dive into that here in a minute. But before I do, if you are in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the third Friday of every month. I'm thankful to partner with the Esquire and host a horror screening. And our screening for December, the week this drops on December 20th, is Don't Open Till Christmas. So come out for this crazy grindhouse slasher, December 20th, 10 p.m., Let's watch a movie together. All right, let's move into Stir of Echoes.
Haven't you ever heard about people being operated on when they're under hypnosis?
No, I don't believe in any of that.
Right.
Really?
All right, Kreskin, prove it. Why don't you hypnotize somebody?
Yeah, do me. Come on. What's the worst that can happen?
What the hell was that? Time to hit the sack.
I love you. I'm a happy guy.
He's a receiver now. He can't stop it. He can't slow it down.
What do you know about that girl, Samantha Kozak?
She ran away.
What happened?
I'm supposed to take.
I want to talk to you. You're not yourself right now.
This is the most important thing that I have ever done in my whole life, in my whole stupid life. And you want me to just stop?
After being hypnotized by his sister-in-law, Tom begins seeing haunting visions of a girl's ghost, and a mystery begins to unfold around her. This was written and directed by David Koepp, and it stars Kevin Bacon, Catherine Erb, Alina Douglas, David Dunn, and many others. This is based off a book by Richard Matheson, and like I said, it came out in 1999, so we're hitting its 25th anniversary. It was a supernatural kind of ghost story, which it released 1 month after The Sixth Sense, which we all know how that movie went, how big it became, and kind of really set up the twists in the movie. Now, this one, when I first saw it, I was in college at the time. I went to the theater to see this film, and I was probably one of only a handful of people in the theater. I know they're not the same type of movie. It's hard to not compare The Sixth Sense and Stir of Echoes because they did come out a month apart from each other. They deal with ghosts. They both deal with somebody seeing ghosts, and then they kind of figure out what is going on in two completely different ways. One has more of a shocking ending, like The Sixth Sense. You did not see what happened. For those who haven't seen it, it's 25 years, but I'm not going to give it away. And then Stir of Echoes, it's darker. It's kind of this descent into madness because Kevin Bacon's character, Tom, his son, Jake, is talking to people and they think, imaginary friend, what's going on? His son can see it. And then one night, he and his wife go to a party. There's this big neighborhood party. They live in this neighborhood that's really close, and they do block parties and everything else. They go to this party, and his wife's sister, she hypnotizes him. And after that, he goes kind of deep down and has these visions. And then after this, he starts seeing a ghost. And the ghost is played by Jennifer Morrison, the ghost of Samantha. And what I love in this movie, for one, is when we start to see the ghost, is the way the ghost moves. Because the way they kind of move in a different speed than normal. So when you see the ghost, it almost feels like some frames have been cut out of their movement. So it's kind of more of a fast jerk. You can't hear them. They don't talk. They're silent. Kevin Bacon is trying to figure out what is going on. She's leaving clues. He's like, I see this ghost. His wife doesn't believe him, but then he goes to his sister-in-law and wants her to hypnotize him again to try to get this out of him, and it takes him even deeper. One of the best parts is after he does, he goes deeper in and he gets told to dig. So he starts digging holes all over his yard. He rents a jackhammer and starts digging holes in the basement of his house, which is a rental of some of the people in the neighborhood. He's tearing down walls, digging up floors, and just going crazy. Think of it kind of like how the dad in like Amityville Horror goes. You know, top of my head, I think of Ryan Reynolds from the remake. It goes to this darkness, and he's just going crazy. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's got to figure out what's happening. And then you get to the twist of what happens as he's figuring it out. You can kind of see it partway through. It's I don't want to say it's a big shock. It's not like The Sixth Sense where you're like, oh crap, Bruce Willis was this. It doesn't give you that shock, but when it happens, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And I love how it was like a darker ghost story. You have to try to figure out this mystery of what happened to this girl. All the while, he sees the ghosts. His son sees the ghosts, but nobody else does. So they just think he's going crazy. They think his son's just, he's just a kid. He talks to imaginary people and everything else. But I really do enjoy Stir of Echoes, and getting to revisit it with this 4K disc was really, it'd been quite a few years since I've watched it. So putting this in and watching it, it was great. After I watched it, I was like, you know what? I need to put something out there about this because I haven't seen this movie in a while. People need to revisit it because out of the ghost stories that came out that year, I prefer this one a little bit more. This release, this steelbook, the transfer looks fantastic. For a movie released 25 years ago, it looks great. The 4K transfer is great. I haven't gone through all the special features yet. There are quite a few on here. As far as there's featurettes, behind the scenes featurettes, deleted scenes, screen tests, all different things that have been on previous releases of Stir of Echoes. There are 2 brand new featurettes, one called Visions of the Past, revisiting Stir of Echoes, and Establishing Shot with Fred Murphy. Those are 2 brand new exclusive to this release. I plan on checking those out here soon, but I didn't have a chance to watch those. I just watched the movie and was like, I need to talk about this movie because I do enjoy it, and I think more people need to experience it. Like I said, I liked it more than The Sixth Sense. I know some people will disagree. That's fine. That's the joy of movies. Some people like them more than others and such like that. Stir of Echoes. Go check it out because not enough people saw this on the original release. It kind of became a hit later on. 1, go watch it if you haven't seen it. 2, if you love the movie, this 4K release looks stunning and is a highly recommended to pick it up. Comes out December 17th, the day this episode comes out. So go check it out. That'll do it for Stir of Echoes. I know there's a sequel to Stir of Echoes. I have not seen the sequel. It came out, I think, in 2007. It stars Rob Lowe. Stir of Echoes, The Homecoming, 2007. I need to go check this out. I'm going to add it to my watch list for Tubi this week because you know what? Why not? I just rewatched this first one. I know the sequel is straight to video. I know it's probably not going to be as good, especially these straight to video ones are never as good, but I'm going to go check it out this week. As I leave you, I do have one recommendation for you that you should watch at home. It just came out on PVOD, and that is The Heretic with Hugh Grant. This film is really, really good. I was looking forward to checking it out. I did not get the chance to see it in the theater, unfortunately. Just time, everything else. Came out to rent, and I watched it, and it's one location. It's these two girls on their mission trip, so they're going house to house, to talk to people, and they come upon Hugh Grant, and he invites them in. As it kind of goes through, it just gets really tense. And then as you find out more and more, it's just solid acting by everybody involved in this movie. Hugh Grant plays a great creepy guy. Both the actresses in this movie are phenomenal. Everybody in this movie knocks it out. So highly recommend checking out Heretic. It will probably end up on a list here soon. But speaking of lists, just make sure you subscribe to Old Man Brad. I will have my favorite films, my favorite horror of 2024 coming out very soon. I mean, our year's almost up. It'll probably come out first or second week of January. I'm going to give you my top 13 favorite horror of the year. Watch for that coming soon. Also, in the middle of Holiday of Horrors, just had an episode with Brett from Dissect That Film. We did Christmas Bloody Christmas. Previously, I did Nutcracker Massacre with Dan from Stacking Triggers, and Black Friday with my wife. Coming up, Christmas Horror Story with Drew from the Real Feels podcast, and Black Christmas with Gerald from Two Peas on the Podcast. But make sure you subscribe and you won't miss any of those. I'll be back soon with a brand new episode. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.